All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Douglas Planning Board meeting for October 28th, 2020. The meeting is being recorded and available for viewing on the Douglas Public Access Channel and on the Douglas website. We'll come to order at 7:05. First item on the agenda, public hearing, zoning bylaw change, car wash, possible votes. All right, the notice. The Planning Board of the Town of Douglas will hold a public hearing to discuss proposed amendments to the town's zoning bylaws. The public hearing will be held on Wednesday, October 28, 2020, at 7 p.m. in the Resource Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. The subject matter of the proposed amendments are indicated below. To see if the town will vote to amend the use table in the town's zoning bylaws by adding new commercial use as follows. Car wash. And it's for, I can read the chart. RA not allowed, RC1 not allowed, RC2 not allowed, Village Residential not allowed, Village Business, Planning Board review, Commercial Planning Board review, Industrial allowed by right, and State Forest not allowed. And further to insert the following definition to section 10.0 definitions. Car wash, a structure containing facilities for washing vehicles with automatic or semi-automatic application of cleaners, brushes, rinse water, and/or heat for drying, including equipment, i.e. drying, vacuuming, air pressure, etc., separate from the structure. Copy of the proposed amendments are available for viewing in the Community Development Department during regular business hours within the Douglas Municipal Center, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Any person interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. Ernest Marks, Chairman, Douglas Planning Board. Public hearing is now open. Okay. Bill and Bob? Let the record show that Bob Manarick is here to present this.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. members
Good evening.
of the board. Bob and Eric, Economic Development Commission. The only comment I have on this is I attended a zoning board meeting beginning of the month, and their one recommendation was you amend the Y by right in industrial to make all of them PB special permit by planning board. Just so you have control over the small industrial areas we have. There are houses in some of the industrial areas.
Okay.
I know you do have site plans and reviews and all that stuff.
Yep.
But do you want somebody coming in with a car wash, truck wash, by right?
Yeah, yeah. Which would be a much larger structure and a much bigger operation.
So I'm open for comments, it's a learning process, it's just my input, I'm trying to bring this recommendation in from the zoning board.
Okay.
There's going to be so few, why not, you know, I guess. You're not going to get 25 car washes.
No.
Right, so just,
I would still prefer a Y. I mean, if you look at what the other Ys are in industrial, I don't have my chart in front of me, I'm sure you do. I'm sure there's like buildings that are Y in industrial.
Yeah.
And we can condition the special permit, site plan review.
You still got it.
And it can't be detrimental to the neighborhood. So whatever is, uncovered under our site, we can condition it. We can't deny it. I don't know why we'd have that additional threshold, the hurdle to. Do you have any Y examples that are, kind of similar to what you're arguing?
In industrial, that are PV.
Industrial.
Why? No, that are Y.
Why? Okay.
Right, in the industrial district, but
Right.
under the commercial regulation, uses table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Restaurants are by right in industrial. Restaurant, fast food,
get trucks there.
business, professional office, no, there's nothing. Sales and service of motor vehicles, marine, farm, recreational vehicles or equipment, that's a zoning board special permit. It's not a Y. Y. Craft, consumer, professional, commercial, service establishment, again, special permit zoning.
Could we just go to the Ys to make my analogy? I'm just thinking, okay, fast food restaurant, so you can, as of right, you can put a fast food
Right.
restaurant.
Restaurant, number 8. Number 9, restaurant, fast food. Number 10, business, professional office. Number 11, medical, dental office, or clinic. 12, bank, other financial institution. 13, insurance, real estate office. Number 16, contracting business and equipment storage yard. And that is it for Ys in industrial zone.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, name and address, please.
288 Northwest Main Street. The things that we brought up during our meeting were like if the car wash all of a sudden started doing tractor trailers, meaning oil and grease and stuff like that. That was where we were going with it. And that was a reason why for it, how large it's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we did, let me say this, we did think of, they have to come to you for a special permit. So, and if you, whether it be a drive-through or whatever it is, you can set the rates there. And that was the whole idea of it.
Okay.
So they still have to come through us, Les Stevens, they still have to come through us for site plan review. So instead of creating another hurdle where they still have to do a special permit on top of that,
Yeah.
they still got to do site plan review. So why go through 2 hurdles for the same thing? And-
The only difference would be a special permit would be something that could be denied, site plan review really isn't.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other thing, normally we run them side by side together at the same time, like we do now. You know, we run them concurrent, so I don't know, is it an extra large burden? Or is it,
It's, if I want to do a car wash and I'm looking at this chart, I may not invest in Douglas because it's not a Y, it's not as of right. So there's a potential for risk there.
there is, but a lot of times, a lot of people will come in front of us and ask for a thought factor on it. And if we, normally, like, we're all unanimous on whatever, as they go, you know, like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then they proceed before they invest in doing it. Like Dunkin' Donuts and stuff did up on 16, they came
And
in front of us first.
denied
Who?
Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, which it was supposed to come
Well-
here.
Right, but we got it to change now that it comes through us, so, for that.
Are you suggesting the Ys for somewhere else?
Yeah,
No,
I mean, Y says we're welcoming that specific
Yeah.
use. So if we're gonna welcome it anyway, why
Right.
not just say Y and do, and it's planning board site plan review for anything industrial?
It's in your industrial area that you've already
Yeah.
zoned. I mean, I think of like,
You just,
you know,
I'm just being devil's
The envelope.
advocate here, which I totally agree.
yeah, the envelope factory, you know what I mean?
You know, it is industrial.
It's industrial. At the end of the day,
Anybody
that's,
else?
no, I'm good.
Bill, any comment on this?
Seems reasonable to me.
No, I mean, it's up to the board. I will offer that currently the town meeting warrant is printed as it's
Yep.
been advertised and before you. So any change to that would require a floor amendment.
Yeah,
You know, problem the way it is.
I'm good with the way it is.
Yeah, I'll go with the way it is.
Yep.
Oh, really?
We also did, by the way. We went with the way it is when we had a question.
Yeah.
And brought it up to you.
No, it's valid, John. I mean, I think when the applicant comes before us, I think that's what the question is like, well, the type of car wash they're installing, can it service a big rig? You know, that's going to be some of the questions we would ask and stay away from. I mean, the
Why
idea
is presented, right?
Correct.
That's
Was it the traffic or was it the oils and?
The oils and
gas?
stuff like that, if you start doing that,
Yeah.
we're looking at the,
Yeah.
you know, conservation, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Because, I mean, you know yourself, some of these trucks don't hold their oil well, and they don't forget. Whether they wash them underneath or wash them on top, you just don't know, or a piece of equipment. That was a reason why.
Yeah. And also knowing, like, if it came in front of us, if I'm not mistaken, any new car wash, all that water, everything is all recycled.
Most of them are, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's.
The older ones
They
that
have to be now.
yeah,
went down the drain and the way it went. The new ones all go through an oil and water separator and everything else because of recycle, I think, 99% of all their water.
So they would capture the oils.
Right, they have to by law.
You have to by law now, yeah, right.
Yeah, they're all self-contained. But if anything, like you say, over time, leaches out or whatever, there's always that possibility.
Well, if you have one of the outdoor washers. you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
yeah,
The ones where you actually take the lawn yourself and do it. I mean, I remember going to Northbridge
Yeah.
and doing my truck because it had salt on it.
Right,
yeah.
That kind of thing. That's right next to the river.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the regulations are much more stringent now
Yeah.
than when
Yeah.
that was.
The one in Webster is
Yeah.
recycled, the one
Right.
in Oxford is recycled.
Yeah,
And I know the one on Route 12 and
Yeah.
Auburn, even both bays is all recycled.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
outdoor and
the
indoor.
board, my board voted unanimously for Bob had written up, so.
Yep.
But
Okay,
we have a
good.
question in there.
Okay.
fair enough.
Batted around a little bit.
all right, anybody
Yeah, it's
else?
something to think through
Yeah.
on how to protect.
Well, we'd only be talking about it at the time of the application.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna have, make sure we even discussed a vending machine on the outside of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the things we talked about.
You know, They wanted to take the word et cetera out,
Yeah,
and we finally realized there's more
Exactly.
to it than drying, vacuum, and air freshener. There's vending machines, token machines.
Yeah,
right.
all different things.
You know,
That's why we kept it in
vending
there.
machines with the air fresheners, and
Yep.
Yeah,
you won't have the cigarette machine.
yeah.
Breath freshener.
couple of one-arm bandits.
All right.
All right. let's
Do we need a vote on a recommendation?
Well, I'm gonna, all
Public.
right, so everybody on the board all set? Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to comment or any? Or anybody online? Anybody, Bill?
Okay.
Okay, board, no further discussion. Somebody want to make a,
I'll make a motion then to close the public hearing.
Second.
motion made by Mike Z to close the public hearing, seconded by Jake. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Roll call vote, please.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye. Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's aye. All right. Next motion?
Go for it.
Make a motion to recommend to town meeting a favorable recommendation for this article. The car wash, as written.
That's right.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Tracy, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Roll call vote, please.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye. Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's aye. Okay,
Yep.
motion carries. All right.
This is the tricky one, right?
Right.
It is.
Public, next item is 7:15, another public hearing, zoning bylaw change, rezone Gilboa Street from RA to industrial. Excuse me. Planning Board of the Town of Douglas will hold a public hearing to discuss proposed amendments to the town's zoning bylaws to rezone and amend the existing zoning map of the Town of Douglas. The public hearing will be held on Wednesday, October 28th, 2020, at 7:15 PM in the Douglas Municipal Center Resource Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. The area to be rezoned is shown on a map on file at the Community Development Department, Douglas Municipal Center, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. 01516, and is available for inspection during regular town hall business hours. The map may also be viewed online at the link https, do I have to read that, Bill, or is that?
As written.
As written.
As written.
As read, okay. The
Just move
proposed
forward.
revisions are as follows. Number one, change the rural agricultural RA zoning district to industrial, 1, on the following town tax assessors parcels, map 138, parcel 44, 45, and 45.1, map 141, parcel 67, and map 139, parcel 1. A copy of the proposed amendments are available for viewing in the Community Development Department during regular business hours within the Douglas Municipal Center, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Any person interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. Ernest Marks, Chairman, Douglas Planning Board. Public hearing is now open. Okay, Bob?
Well, Mr. Chairman,
Like a-
this one's pretty straightforward if you look at your nice colored map. All remaining RA except for the corner lot on North Street in Gilboa, which is town-owned, and its adjacent lot, which is Bucama, that house. Those two properties will remain RA. Everything else will be rezoned to industrial to match the property it touches.
So, just for further description, this is east of North Street and south of Gilboa Street.
Okay.
And north of the proposed width.
Yep.
Anybody have any comments, questions?
No.
John, anything on this one?
You guys are good?
We're, again.
You guys are okay with it?
We're okay with it.
All right.
Yeah, this one's simple.
All right. Bill, any comment?
Nope.
No? All right, this is a public hearing, so is there anybody in the audience or online that wishes to comment or ask a question about this? Seeing, hearing none?
I have to give Bill tons of credit for realizing that the Mulford River was RA all the way down to the Uxbridge line.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking of the bridge that's going in there,
Yeah,
the footings.
yeah.
You
yeah,
had half a footing in the river, which could be, or if it's a long span, you'll have one footing in the river
yeah.
in RA, which is not allowed.
Oh, okay.
Try building that bridge.
Well, we have
Good
split
catch.
district
Yeah.
bylaw rule. so
Good catch.
That wouldn't have been.
This would make this simple,
Yeah, this is a lot
Yeah.
cleaner.
and the airspace above it.
Correct.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right,
true.
right.
Yeah.
Makes both sides of the street the same, right?
Yep.
Both, what, say that?
Both sides of the street would then be industrial.
No, north side of Gilboa
Go.
is still red, commercial.
That would stay red.
That
Oh,
that
right here.
red
It's all commercial.
swath is
This is
commercial.
Okay.
Not industrial.
Then this is gonna be red and this will go
South will
gray.
be industrial.
Yeah.
No, there is a C in there, okay.
Yeah. So, he's, no, no, no.
Pardon?
That's not the C you got in high school. That's
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Nothing. Then I'll make a motion then to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Aaron.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye?
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's aye.
Through.
Okay, next motion. Tracy?
I'll make a motion to report to town meeting a favorable recommendation for this article.
Second.
Motion made by Tracy, seconded by Mike G. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye?
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's aye. All right. You're good to go, Bob.
Good.
Good work.
Good job, Bob.
Very good,
How much,
sir.
how,
Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
good job, thank you very much.
Thank you for
Yep.
your time and effort. Also,
All right. Okay.
I'll be back at some time.
Good?
No doubt in my mind. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Bring some stamp
All right.
pending with you. Bring some stamp pending.
It's not quite 7:30, so we'll have to hold off until then for our next public hearing.
Take care of some little.
You want to do the
We're running ahead of
discussion item?
Bill, anything you want to take out of order for a few minutes?
Yeah, Margaret's here, so Margaret, if you're listening, we could do the A&R plan,
For U Street?
U Street.
Okay.
Not listening.
Okay. So basically, we have a submittal for, it's pretty straightforward, a large piece of property on U Street, 274 U Street. Carving out one lot, dimensionally conforming. I had a few comments, they addressed all the comments.
Okay,
Should be fairly straightforward.
all right. Taxes are all paid?
Given to the
Okay.
Davis?
Okay,
Margaret, anything to add?
pretty straightforward.
The only thing I've put the process already, I've approved but petition for both lots, and I have for both lots. So this is the process.
Did you get that, Bill?
Yeah, I think what Margaret is saying, Margaret, you've been breaking up, so what I think she was saying is she did go before the Conservation Commission with this lot configuration. and
Okay.
Had two projects, I guess, on each of the lots, and that passed Conservation. This is
Okay.
consistent with what that is.
Okay.
Very good.
Yep.
Did you find
Yeah.
What's it?
some info?
Right next to Petey's houses, right?
This one. What's that?
Steve and Amanda Bagman?
It's another
That's
one.
what we're talking about, right?
It's right on U Street.
Right on U Street.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
near the new houses that are going up.
Correct.
It's a lot before
Yep.
that.
yeah.
Before that, yes.
Big open area.
Come off of Martin Road
Yeah,
and,
it's the wooded area.
right,
It's a wooded area. It's pretty flat.
right where the old cemetery used to be.
Still is. Still, the cemetery's still there.
Yeah, but there's nobody in it.
Oh,
I think
geez.
there is.
No, all those bodies were removed and taken to Worcester for burial.
There's a vacancy.
You pretty sure?
I'm pretty sure it's that,
Got vacancy over there?
Yeah.
pretty sure there's a vacancy over
They're
there.
transient. Transient.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that was what they've
They're
all
still,
been,
they're still trying to figure out the ownership, I think, of that parcel.
yeah, I'm not sure, but,
I'll make a motion to endorse the A&R plan for 264 U Street.
Second.
motion made by Tracy, seconded by Aaron. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Oh. So used to that.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mike Swicker, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Jake Schultzberg.
Think you-
Ernie Mac's aye.
think you're
All
tripping
right,
us up.
motion passes. Okay, thank you, Margaret.
Thank you.
Cool.
Margaret, I'll have that for you tomorrow.
Okay, I'll stop by.
Do you have a Mylar, Bill? Is there one here?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah, okay,
All
we'll
right.
sign that at the end. All right. It's 7:30 yet? I can't see the clock.
Yeah, no, we still got,
Yet?
yeah, 4 minutes.
So Evan Turner, you want to take,
Sure.
sure.
Walton Lake?
That's Wallen Lake, number 3,
That's all right.
on additional business.
Okay.
And I recuse myself.
Going to recuse yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, let the record show that Tracy has recused herself.
Okay.
So in your packet, you have, so the way we left this off last, they're looking to enter into a surety agreement for the decommissioning of the array.
Yeah.
You might recall at one of the last meetings, if not the last meeting, they had requested a reduction in the estimate that had been performed by Par Corp, because they were going from 11.4 megawatts down to 8 point something megawatts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the board authorized and they agreed to pay for PAR's review to see if it was in fact a pro-ratable thing or a proportional dollar amount. And so we did send the information off to PAR, and surprisingly, PAR had today, okay, so, I mean, PAR did turn this around relatively quickly.
Okay.
I have to say that.
Okay.
And they did get back to me today, so what you have in your packet is hot off the presses. I really haven't had a chance to look at it.
Okay.
I'm sure Evan has. But surprisingly, the number of panels that were originally budgeted for the decommissioning was 10,000. And now that was pulled out of the narrative that came in with the application. On the backup data that was provided from the applicant for this subsequent review, it was over 20,000 panels. So we have a little disparity in the count, I guess, and the basis for the decommissioning estimate. So the current estimate is based on the current information provided by the applicant.
Okay.
And, you know, therefore, I haven't looked at it closely.
Yeah.
I don't know, Evan, would you like to add anything to that?
Yes, sir. So the narrative was just wrong in the application. They pulled it. I don't know why they pulled it from the narrative instead of doing their own math on the module counts. But so they got it wrong the first time. So good that we've come back and take another run at it. We think the number of that decom is really high. But we're obviously looking to move to a building permit. We are okay accepting it for the time being. But we just like sort of some goodwill between us that if we can work with Pear and, come to an agreement on some numbers that we think are high in that estimate, that we'll all take a good faith look at what the right number would be later, because this is about twice what we've seen other decom estimates across the Commonwealth. They're calling effectively a $25 per module recycling fee. The rest of everything breaks out even. The salvage value roughly covers the decommissioning cost of everything but the modules getting rid of them. And their estimate calls roughly recycling and paying someone $25 a panel in year one, whereas we're buying these things brand new for $140, and you could turn around and sell them for almost that in year one. So we think it's a little silly to say $3 million of panels in year one, that we'd have to pay someone $500,000 to get rid of them. We think that's not quite right. But for the time being, to get to the building permit process, we're okay running with this. We're just going to drill down with Pear, with the board's permission on our dime, and see if we can get to an agreement on what's a little more accurate. And if we can't, well, then those are the numbers. But otherwise, the agreement is written. I propose that I'll talk with Bill tomorrow, and we'll marry up the agreement to the new quote, get the language just right. And I would ask that the board authorize the chair to sign that outside the meeting, hopefully tomorrow or Friday, and we can get you guys, for your refresher, even though it's break even on the decommissioning versus the removal and salvage without the modules, our proposal is to give Douglas $100,000 in cash down, and then start paying off the difference there, just so you guys have some cash. Because we think that's a great way to go into the building process, just like you might have subdivision on, held in cash for the construction period. So with that small monologue done, back to Bill.
So town council did approve the form of the agreement, and pending, the resolution of the dollar amount.
Yeah.
I did talk to Pear Corp, and they did solicit 3 different prices for their unit price on the decommissioning, and there was a wide disparity in the prices. And the logic that we use going forward is...
Someone's echoing off your mic, Bill.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Yep, right there.
Paul?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So there was a wide disparity in the unit prices, so the logic we used going forward was, well, we didn't get an objection on the original amount. We had a problem with the quantity,
Yeah, right.
so we just carried that same dollar amount
Oh.
that they didn't object to previously.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the number we have right now, and,
Yeah.
they didn't go with the high, they didn't go with the low, it's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
So how many total panels? Because we got a,
20,000 some odd,
is
it's in your literature.
is it 20,000
Yeah.
panels? And how many acres?
How many acres, Evan?
It's 25 inside the tree line.
So 20,000 plus on 25 acres?
25, he said.
Acres?
5 acres, yeah. So I agree with his approach, you know.
Yeah.
The board needs to vote to authorize Ernie to sign the
Great.
decommissioning agreement.
Yeah.
And then we can move forward and then resolve any discrepancies later.
Also move.
Yeah.
Motion made by Mike Z,
Second.
seconded by Aaron. Okay, any further discussion?
I'll go with that.
All those in favor?
Roll call.
Great.
Roll call.
Are you
Oh, Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye. Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's aye. Okay, Evan, that's where we'll go for now. Sound good?
You guys, I
All right.
appreciate it. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
Stick
Thank
around
you.
for the Basin swale talk, but I'll be muted.
All right. Yep. Cool. All right, we're at 7:30.
All right.
You know, if you want to knock that out now so Evan can cut loose.
Yep.
You know, I'm okay with that.
So,
Yeah, let's do
It'll
that.
take 5 minutes, not
Yep,
even.
yep, let's do that.
So today, I received a set of drawings and calculations for, we had a condition in the decision, you might recall, there were 2 intermediary diversion berms for stormwater, directing stormwater to a secondary basin.
Yep.
One of the conditions in the, we had concern about erosion occurring at the low end of those berms.
Yep.
And scour was a concern. So we had a condition in there to remove the berms. In doing so, they had to do a redesign of the pond. So that's kind of where we're at. I just got the drawings today to review. I haven't had a chance to look at them.
Okay.
So the plan is, I don't think it needs the board's involvement. If it looks suitable to me from an engineering perspective,
Yep.
they'll comply with the requirement, the condition in the decision.
Okay.
Otherwise, if there's a discrepancy, we'll
Yeah.
have to come back and hash it out at the next meeting.
Agree.
Okay, everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's normal. That's what we always kind of
Yeah.
give Bill the latitude. That's, we've discussed this in the past. You know what I mean? But there's things in the field sometimes you come across that he's gonna work within a range. That's fair.
Anybody else, any comments, questions? No?
I'm good with that.
All right, we're good with that, Evan? Yeah?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You guys abreast of the changes, so we'll be right with Bill, and they got the TRC guys here. I think Steve and Max are here just to make sure we have any questions, but I think we're, Bill review, they'll be back and forth, engineer to engineer, and we'll get it knocked out, because we're ultimately just complying with the permit. We just like to keep you guys informed.
that's great.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks, Steve. Nice to meet you.
Everybody.
Yep.
Thank you.
okay. All right.
Cool. 7:30.
Okay, 7:30. Public hearing, 93 Davis Realty. Modification request for site plan review permit. Tracy,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, you
can I
read.
recuse myself?
All right, let the record show that
Thank you.
Tracy is recusing herself.
Oh,
Okay,
Paul gonna present. Is he on mute still? Bill? Hotnack? Yeah. I know we muted him because we're getting that double echo.
all right, I'm going to read the public hearing notice, just give me a minute here.
Two copies.
Put it.
The first page is the same.
Same.
Okay.
All right, public hearing. Name of the applicant, 93 Davis Realty Trust. Name of the owner, 93 Davis Realty Trust. Date and time of the public hearing, Wednesday, October 28, 2020, at 7:30 PM. Subject matter of the hearing, the applicant is requesting a modification to the approval from the Douglas Planning Board pursuant to the Douglas zoning bylaws, section 9.4, site plan review. Project description, 93 Davis Realty Trust is requesting permission to construct a 30-foot by 112-foot, 1.5-story retail cannabis establishment with associated site work, drainage, and septic system. Project site and location, the project is located at 93 Davis Street, Douglas map, assesses map 168, parcel 15. Place of the public hearing, Douglas Municipal Center Resource Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Any person interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. A copy of the application is available for a review during regular business hours in the Douglas Community Development Department, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Ernest Marks, Chairman. Public hearing is now open.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
All right, so just as a bit of an oddity, I've called in, since my audio doesn't seem to be working on the video, but
Okay, is that Paul? Can we just get your name and address, Paul?
my name is Paul Hutnack. I am with GBI, representing the project,
Thank you.
14 West Street. So essentially what we are here to modify, as the chairman just mentioned in the initial filing, the building was 112 feet long. There was a 100-foot section of building that we were building now, and we had a 12-foot section of building off the back that was future expansion included in the site plan. So what we've actually done at this point is to remove that 12-foot section from the site plan, from the building. And we propose to have 20 feet of pavement behind the building. Now previously, it was 18 feet of pavement behind the building. And it was 100. So now we will have essentially a 100-foot building with 20 feet of pavement. So to make the site plan work with that, what we did was to basically offset the building 20 feet, and then as you can see, the straight line essentially that's parallel with the back line of the building. And then there's 24 feet off of each of the aisles that come into that area. And then they're basically rounded off to 5 feet into that 20-foot offsetted line in the back. So that's kind of how the formation kind of starts.
That's a little bit less.
So what that does obviously is bring everything further away from the limits of disturbance, if you will. So those limits of disturbance those are the same limits of disturbance. That is the same wall location. That did not move. What we did was to create a shoulder similar to what we had before off of the edge of pavement, and then we slope down at 2 to 1 off of that. And where that meets the wall, all of those top of wall locations and elevations are now shown on the plan with that revised grade. So that's really, that's pretty much what we did. We moved everything again with that edge of pavement, the guardrail and whatnot and everything else. We've actually added a fence as well on this one. So things stayed as similar as they could in that, again, with the grading even, I tried to keep it as similar as I could to what it was previously. Just tighten it all up. And then again, basically that 2 to 1 slope goes down off of that shoulder and then into that wall. So that's where they kind of meet together. And that is what we're requesting for a modification.
Okay, Bill?
Well, I think there's more things than just that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go through everything at once or take them one at a time.
You mean the language?
The language is the other stuff, yeah.
Take one at a time.
Altogether.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, wait.
So in your packet, with regard to what Paul just talked about,
Yep.
Yeah.
we did get an email from, I did forward it to Leonard at no cost. Cursory review of
Yep.
what was submitted.
Yep.
They had a handful of comments that's.
Yeah. I think it was 4 comments they had.
Can I speak?
Oh, I'm just
No.
I'm just giving you a chance.
Thank you.
Where are you looking for it?
So Leonard provided a handful of comments. They didn't think that stormwater was going to be an issue because it's really decreasing the amount of impervious surface.
Okay.
There is a side slope, however, that's created at the back, closest to the wetlands. So he was concerned about the stabilization of the side slope. It's a 2 to 1 slope. I know Karen Keegan subsequently, in one of your emails, recommended that they would treat it with some sort of erosion control fabric.
Yeah.
I would really recommend that they use riprap. So I think that would be more suitable in this kind of situation, and it would be a deterrent to keep people from going in that area.
Okay.
The other comment that Leonard had was regarding the turning movements for the fire engine around the building. And Karen did respond to that, saying that, I don't have it in front of me. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Saying that the width of the pavement has increased from 18 to 20 feet, and therefore that should be adequate for the fire truck maneuvering around the building. My opinion is they should still demonstrate that through the same type of figure that we had last time.
Yeah.
What happens is when you have a sharper turn,
Right.
it's a little more difficult for the large vehicle to negotiate the turn. So-
Sure is.
So I would suggest that they demonstrate that on the plan. With regard to looking at the plan, the other comment I had two other comments. One had to do with the amount of earth removal. Paul, did you do a volume calculation on the amount of earth removal from the site?
I don't recall doing one, previously.
So before they had somewhat of a fill site with the wall being so tall
Yeah.
and kicking it out that way.
Right.
They're taking that fill area out and looking at the grading on the site. I'm a little concerned that they're going to trigger the earth removal bylaw.
Are they, because they're removing the earth from the site?
Over 300 yards, yeah,
What's the trigger for the earth removal from?
300 yards.
Is it 300? I thought it was 6.
No, 3.
So we could either condition that
Yeah,
to be looked at,
we-
or
we need an answer
provide
for
it to
that.
the board,
Yeah.
or we can have them provide that.
Condition it if they can.
So, the last thing, so I do know with regard to the remaining points, they have some suggested edits in language. They're decreasing the height of the wall here.
Right.
Currently, there's a requirement for a structural design of the wall, and I think that's what the issue is. So they really should revisit that condition also.
Okay.
It's not in their list, so even though they're doing another plan and the wall's 3 feet tall, technically, they have to provide a structural design,
Yeah.
as silly as that seems. So, I would think that they want to address that. And along those lines, I do want to make sure that they're still remaining consistent with any fall protection requirements that are contained in the building code.
Yeah, okay.
What was that last one, Bill? I'm sorry.
Any fall protection requirements for the wall that's in the building.
Okay, fall protection.
Yeah.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah,
I know they're putting the 6-foot chain link fence and everything all along the back, right along where the buffer zone area is. There should be signage put up there, no dumping of snow over the fence.
Well, I don't think there's any breakthrough.
Huh?
There's not a gate or anything. I don't.
No, just so they're not dumping over the fence, because I see those signs posted in wetland. There's some
Right.
buildings on Route 20 that have those signs
Right.
posted,
yeah.
because I don't care, Bobcat can dump 6
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
So all they're
Contractor
gonna do is
can
clean down this lot,
dump
go
it.
right over the fence and dump it.
I was thinking.
So it should be noted that way, so that they're not dumping over the fence, because the buffer zone
Yeah.
is right there. And they'll be dumping right into the buffer, especially where you have the riprap, be an
Yeah.
easy place that somebody would think to dump snow.
Yeah.
I know that they can't.
Yeah.
So it should be placed along that fence. Some signs, how many, I don't know. That's something for somebody to work on, but there needs to be signage there, so it's not done.
Well, they got the.
So I would say to that we do show designated snow
Yes,
storage areas on the plan.
right.
And I believe, that would be a Concom issue.
No, not because of signage. It's signage along the fence, nothing to do with COMCOM.
Paul, just put signage on there, just a few signs or whatever, it'll be worked out. It's a minor thing, I think. Some little signs get made.
Yeah, you don't, contractor's gonna send one of his guys in to do the plowing
Yeah.
and,
Right.
Well, you're not gonna hand a contractor your print here to show where to put the snow. They're gonna come in with a skid steer or whatever and just plow the snow.
It's a minimal thing.
I mean, it's the way, it's the real world.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, I assume we'll get like a modified, list of conditions or modified conditions. Some action that then that's modification. So if that's in that, then that's okay.
Right. No, appreciate it.
Same with, we would be okay with riprap on the slope.
Yeah.
That Bill mentioned earlier, we'd be fine with that.
That makes sense.
Fine with the condition and that approval that we show that truck, so we would probably just contact that big company that has to do it. So we would be okay with it.
Okay.
In terms of the earth removal, I believe the site is actually at the elevation that it's going to be at right now.
Just follow up with that.
Yeah.
Under the previous decision, so I'm not sure that we would be moving much if any more from the site.
Paul, I mean, either you trigger it or you don't. I think it's a simple comment. I think you're more apt to trigger it with this change in design because you had all that fill area where you're now got a 2-to-1 side slope. That's all the comment is.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. I mean, I guess it really was only a 12-foot area, and now it's got a 2-to-1 rather than being, some of it was 2-to-1 before off of the map as well. Yeah, is there less, fill than there was previously? Yes, but I guess if it was not requested before, I guess I'm not sure that this should make it happen, but that's just my opinion.
Okay?
It wasn't requested before, but you're doing a modification, so it's requested now.
Yeah, just do the calcs and proceed.
Well, would it be incidental to a building permit as well, and then is that exempt?
Get out.
No, it's not exempt. The only part that's exempt as part of a building permit is that portion of the earth that's displaced by foundation or a septic system or, in this case, a stormwater infiltration chamber. So that portion is exempt. But it looks like based on the existing conditions TOFO that's been provided, there are some stockpiles above the path that caused me concern to raise the question.
And we need to know if you're going to use that material on the site or if it's coming off of there.
No problem.
Yeah, we can condition
I
that.
think we should get that number.
Yeah, no, I agree, we should get the number, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
So, yeah, okay, that's good. In terms of the thing you mentioned, Bill, the fall protection and the wall and stuff, and the fact that it was over 4 feet, I guess I'm not completely familiar with the language, but I believe it was, if it was greater than 4 feet, then that's what triggered all that.
Yeah, that's
So if
the.
it's less than 4 feet, then it would be.
Yes, but
correct, or is that not correct?
we carried in our decision after the last plan that required a structural design for the retaining wall because it was 8 to 10 feet tall. So now that you're changing that, we need a request from you to remove that condition, I would think, or something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If that needs to be in writing, then we will do that, but yes, we request that. That was, as you stated, that was a lot of as well. But, again, if you have a condition in there about what you mentioned with the ball protection, we take that out and we have that looked at, but I think that in terms of the structural design, we would want to have that as well.
Right. Parking, number of parking spaces and stuff, that's nothing's changed there?
No.
No, this didn't get into the parking area.
Okay. Board, any questions?
I think Leonard addressed a lot of the items and the responses there. Is there any other changes, Bill, regarding language or
For the plan, no.
outside of the plan?
Is the board comfortable with thinking that this is a modification or this is a new plan?
Modification.
Modification, I think we dealt with that before with,
I'm
No,
just,
no, it's good to ask you, dot the i's and cross the t's. We
Yeah.
want to, make this happen in the very finest way we can.
It's similar to what we had to do with Pine over there on Glen Street when they weren't using a wall. They sloped it off instead. From there initially, we're gonna do the earth removal, create a wall.
They came in from up.
Correct, they gave it modification, so it's along those lines.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Okay, so we still need a structural engineering design on the wall.
If it's over.
No, I think we need clarification that they're requesting that condition be removed. I
Yeah,
think
correct.
they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And conversely, I still think they need, to look at fall protection at a minimum.
Yeah.
The spot grades shown on the wall are less than 4 feet. So if you want to modify the language to say that,
As required by the
remains below 4 feet, that there's no structural or something like that, that's like.
Well, there's two separate things.
We could do a catch-all, Paul, and say that it's as required by the building code, because that's really what the intent is. So it'll be consistent with the building code, and that'll be both for structural design, building permit, and or fall protection.
Right.
Cool.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
What do we have left, these questions? I mean, the clerk, all right?
Yeah. And the only thing,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
so I think Aaron was asking, the only thing that we have left to look at are from the attorney, list of change conditions.
Yeah, okay. Town council, any comments on procedure so far?
Nothing as of yet.
Okay.
And the only, I guess, thing I would offer is just contemplate as you go along what you would want to see next. If you want these changes on file before you close, would you want to do it through a condition? You're going to need a written request on that last one. You don't want to make changes to the decision, on your own. So they need to get that into you at the very least. Some of the other things you probably want to go through.
Okay.
And for our meeting minute taker, that's Brian Winter, town council.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
All right. All right, we'll go through the comments then.
Do we want to take these one at a time?
Yep, we're going to take them one at a time. All right. All right, Bill, you want to do this?
I would say, probably have the applicant or their representative address each of these.
All right. Okay.
Chair?
Yes, sir.
Name and address.
Here with respect.
Can you just give your
name
name and address, please?
John Wozniak, I'm here today on behalf of 93 Davis Realty Trust,
Thank you.
and I'm here with respect to a request for modification of 4 items, 47, 48, 49, and 50. And I'd like to take those a little bit out of order. I'd like to take 47, 48, and 50, and then discuss 49, because it'll be a more extensive conversation. With respect to 47, as the board may recall, initially we sought a change, and it was more of a procedural issue than it was a substantive one at the time. The board told us to come back on a modification, which is what we're here for tonight. We had requested or sought to just have it bonded so that in the event, weather permitting, I mean, we live in New England, that we'd be able to bond it and get the occupancy permit so the business could open and function. What we're asking the board to consider tonight would be a modification that would have all disturbed areas to be loomed and seeded up until November, and then would be extended through the inclement months of December, January, and February, where loom and seeding conditions can be reinstated for March. One of the reasons we're doing that, and I know last time that we heard the board say, well, we just, we just do it. Well, in this particular case, my client has spent a considerable amount of funds to develop a business in this community, and all we'd be asking for is some comfort with respect to, we just don't want to get held up if the loom and seeding is not done. So we just want to make, if a bond would have been an inappropriate remedy to address that, this, I think, gives at least a reasonable alternative to that, which is just allowing reprieve in the months of December, January, and February to afford us the ability to just wait until the inclement weather ends and then we can start again. So that's what our request is with respect to 47.
Are we going to knock these out one at a time? Can we talk about it?
Yeah, I'd like to do it one at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is
Okay.
procedural, in my opinion,
Yeah.
would be normal.
For living in New England.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with it personally, but, just
No, I'm not.
going to be tough to grow grass in
I
November.
just want to make sure that there are erosion measures taken in case, if it's not loomed and seeded, I want to make sure it's stable, or there's not going to be erosion occurring if we get bad weather, and there's nothing there to keep it from washing
Well, the
away.
grass isn't going to do it now.
So
It's not.
we have to make sure of that.
Well, they plant, a lot of them, they plant winter rye, stabilize it. But
Yeah.
it's one of those deals where I understand, as long as the dirt doesn't wash away, I don't care.
Yeah, that's my
I have no
only
problem with
concern
it.
with it, is that
Well,
if there is
even
something
if you
there
could-
to stabilize it. Bill? have a
Even if you
comment?
put down
The
dirt.
only thing I would probably ask town council is, it's one thing to get surety that covers the value of doing loam and seeding, but if there's an issue and the town needs to intervene, once we post surety, in my opinion, we need some form of an agreement as to when the town can access that surety and what are the conditions that trigger the surety access.
I don't mean to interrupt, but we withdrew that as because of the opposition to it by the board. And what we did was we gave it an alternative to that surety issue, where we've now said, listen, because of the very issues you're discussing right now and going to town council and all the problems that surety would cause, we're saying, listen, this is New England, December, January, February, they're typically the months that are the harshest from a winter perspective. We're just looking for a reprieve for those 3 months so the building's complete. It doesn't stop us from getting an occupancy permit, so my client can go in, begin operating the business, and begin, earning revenue. In terms of the washing of the dirt, as the construction project proceeds, obviously, and you just discussed it with the planning and engineer, you've already got things in place to stop erosion issues and the like. It had nothing to do with respect to the winter, that are going to be able to address it. And this period, this 3-month short period or brief window, is just to give my client some level of comfort that there's not going to be a roadblock thrown in her way. And it's just procedural. In March, she'll be right back to doing it, but there is no bond. We took that bond out of it because of the very
Yeah.
issues.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the very issues you raised before, I took it out and gave this alternative to render.
So,
Can we move something here? This is not
okay.
unreasonable, so can we just come
well,
to
no, we
some
want to know
conclusion?
what's going to happen. If they have occupancy,
Well, I'd like to make a motion to accept this. It's not unreasonably written.
Yeah.
Everybody's an expert at everything, right? I mean, I read specs all the time. And I feel comfortable with this, and I think we should move this. It's not an unreasonable request, so I'd like to make a motion to,
No.
Is there no motions here?
There's still discussion going on, so
Right.
I'll
So-
accept the motion when the
Yeah, why do you
discussion's
have to
done.
close this?
I have no problem with having that window.
Yeah.
As long as we have some means of knowing that it's going to get done. Because once you have occupancy and they say, well, we're not going to do it now, what are you going to be able to do about it?
Well, there's a certain amount of faith in a professional organization
No.
in town. I mean.
I've seen
it's-
that go out the window many
I
times.
don't know anything
That
about
faith-
bonds
that
and
faith
things
is
like
called
that. I just know business is going to.
Surety, that's what that
So
faith
that's all
is
that,
called,
I have
surety.
no problem with the window. I have no problem
Yeah.
holding off.
Right.
But what are we going to have as a deal to make sure that it gets done?
Yeah,
Once you're inside the door,
Well, it'll be weeds sooner or later. It's going to be something growing there.
it's irrelevant. It's a business. You can't build a house until you have grass over your septic system. You can't get occupancy,
No.
period.
Right,
No.
right,
So
right, but-
here we are building a business and we're just going to say, don't worry
But what
about it?
just
Mike,
happened is my
Mike,
grass
you're
has
wrong.
come up, my weeds came.
You can get occupancy permit
In the
without,
wintertime,
without grass. Yeah. Without grass on a septic.
when they change it.
But they're saying the condition's going
Bill knows.
to stay, and it shall remain after March. It's not like they're, shifting away from the agreement. It's just
Yeah.
saying, hold off on that till after March,
Right?
right?
Yep.
We're worse than the Senate.
Yeah.
You know, this is like,
I've seen it happen before where winter months, nothing's grown. If there are precautions taken to make sure that there's not a lot of erosion during a real bad rain or a storm and stuff's coming out
is
into
there
the road
erosion
and
control
going into the
barriers on
brook.
the site? There will be, right?
Yeah, they're on
That's
construction.
why we have surety.
That's why, yeah.
They're on construction areas.
Town council's comment, please.
Again, for the record, Brian Winter. I just wanted to comment that there's sort of two levels going on. What's happening, over those 3 months in terms of ENS control. So that's just a site, construction management issue, and it sounds like it's addressed in one way or the other. The other one is an ongoing compliance issue. How do we make sure that they get back to work and fulfill these conditions? So a
Right.
bond is one way to do that if you want the town to step in. It doesn't have to be a bond, it can be cash surety.
Yeah, that's
Another
fine.
tripartite agreement, you can do it different ways, but there's a lot of complications with that. So that's one way you can ensure that they either do it or the town steps in and does it. But a site plan approval is, one of the approvals that goes and runs with the property. So your building commissioner will be in a position to take enforcement if they don't fulfill all the conditions of the site plan approval. So they could be hit with a cease and desist order
Correct.
if it's
Okay.
not done. So surety or no surety, they could get a notice to stop work if work is still in progress, or a notice to just not occupy.
Yeah.
Because it's a zoning
Yeah.
violation.
That
So
seems like an awful
there's
lot
more
of,
than one way to approach
Yeah.
it.
that seems like an awful lot of bother. Just put up the surety and it's there, and you don't have to go through all that.
And which one to choose is a policy decision for the board. I'm not going to tell you which one fits best for this case or for you. Most times when I'm doing construction, I like cash. And that's just the honest answer. But you have to decide as a board whether you think it's warranted.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I believe that, if I could be recognized, Mr. Chair, John Wozniak on behalf of the Realty Trust, and I ask you to confirm with town council, you can always, as part of the cease and desist, always additionally fine my client with respect to non-compliance issues going forward. So the surety, and the only reason we took the surety language out is because you had a problem with it the last time, so we took it out and come up with an alternative remedy for it. You got the power of the board. I mean, if my client's spending considerable money to build not a factory, it's not a commercial enterprise where it's going to be a manufacturing process, it's going to be a retail store that's going to attract people. She's investing her money, her effort into the property. It's going to have to look attractive. It's an asset. She's not going to allow it to have tumbleweeds and whatnot going around the front. It's going to have to look attractive. So the point taken that I understand the issue of the surety, but we removed the surety because of the problems you had with that last time. And I thought 3 months was a reasonable period of time, because you're picking the harshest months, probably the end of December. The way things are going, who knows? My client's not going to wait. Just because she has a 3-month window, she's not going to wait. If she has the ability and the weather cooperates, she's going to go ahead and get the building done. I mean, because there's certain other issues at stake here in terms of financing and the like. So we put in the surety, so we're willing to do that, but we did this modification for tonight's purposes because of what the board said the last time we had this surety in there. And we didn't want to create a complication that was unnecessary based on the power of this board, so.
Thank you.
The surety?
Bill?
I think that personally, I mean, with all due respect, I'm not sure I got the same read from the board on that surety condition the last time we discussed it. I think they felt that the condition was okay the way it was. In spite of that, in terms of a hierarchy, I would certainly be more comfortable and would recommend to the board language pertaining to a surety and an agreement as to when you could access that. We could still have that same time frame on there.
Yeah,
But,
you could put the time frame in there, but,
Yeah.
it's an assurance that the work would be completed.
right.
So there's no harm, no foul if they'd agree.
If it's
Yeah,
complete,
so-
you get the
so you
money
can-
back.
That's
If
what
it's
this
not,
vote then.
Yeah, you give until June to get the lawn installed if they can't get it in the winter.
yeah.
I mean,
No problem with waiting.
yep. All right.
All right, well, I'll make a decision board.
I got no problem with the months whatsoever. You guys come up with however you want to secure it and make sure it gets done.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with posting surety. I mean, you get the money back if the job's done. If something should happen that we have to go in and finish the job, then
How do we
the money's there to
move
do
it in
it.
such a way that if the applicant, or we're suggesting surety, that we move it that way and leave the language as it is? Right? That's what we're saying here, we have surety.
Right.
How do we move that? I'm not a parliamentary guy.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how to do it. Someone on this board more experienced than I in the language.
So I think original 47 just said that it should be, the disturbance area shall be loomed and seeded, prior to issue of occupancy permit. And so,
Yeah.
they're proposing that just because of the November timeframe, December, January, that the lumen seeding shall be reinstated for March. So
Yeah,
it is,
I don't
Even
see
in
putting any
April, I
pressure.
mean,
yeah,
March, I've seen snow.
yeah, you still see
Yeah,
March.
snow 4 feet
Yeah.
deep.
I-
You didn't make that into April, I don't, that's fine with me.
I don't have a problem with
So how do we
the,
do the language?
I don't have a problem with, with not doing anything during December, January, February, even into March.
Yeah, yeah.
After March, they can reinstate it, but I just don't understand why we're not getting, why they don't want to post surety.
They didn't say that.
They didn't say that.
I just heard him.
Willing to.
He said he'll do it back. He just took it out for other reasons.
Then that's fine, we can write the condition that way then.
Sure.
Surety will be posted and we won't enforce anything during January, February, and March.
Brian Winter again for the record. The way I would suggest it read is that shall be loaned and seeded, provided that the work isn't done, between
Yeah.
November.
Correct.
Then the applicant shall post the bond to cover the work to ensure that it be either resumed or completed in the springtime. And you could put bookend dates on that. So that's how I would structure it. So it's a if-then.
If then,
Yeah.
yes,
Done, and then,
correct.
you don't
Okay.
need it. It's a non-issue.
All right, board okay with that?
Yeah, works for me.
And where they have specific, like in the March, there again, you might not be able to do it in March.
Still not gonna be able to do it in
Right.
March.
Might not still
Just
be able
go
to do
into
it.
April or whatever. is-
We can't.
I have no problem with,
No problem whatsoever.
cooperating with the
Yeah.
weather's not right.
Yeah,
Okay,
you don't have the weather, you don't have the weather.
you don't have the weather, exactly.
All right?
All right, is that good, sir?
That's fine.
Okay.
So you're good there.
Should have left it the way it was the first time.
Yeah, we should have, yeah, I know. Right,
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
All right, which one would you like to do
48.
next?
Well, you know what, I'd like to go back, because they had on the retaining wall that the engineer discussed, I'd like to see if we could discuss an amendment to a modification of number 31, which is prior to issuing.
Do we
Just
have
add
it?
in the retaining wall. I'm sorry, gentleman there.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You might not. We don't have it though, right?
What
No.
number?
31.
31,
I've got it up on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
it's in regard to.
I just request that there be a modification with regard to number 31 to add that the retaining wall will have fall protection as requested as required by building code.
Yeah, that's what was covered.
Fall
That's what-
protection and/or, what about, you said something about engineering. That's
Well, I would
only,
say the retaining wall shall be in compliance with
Yeah,
the
building code.
requirements of the building code.
That-
And I think that's a
That's it.
catch-all.
Yeah,
So, if it's fall protection, if it's
Yeah.
structural design, if it's building permit, all that stuff.
whatever's required.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
So 31's good?
that's number 31?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
And that's, I don't have it in here. Are you okay with the signage on the dumping of the snow over the back?
Oh, yeah, that's no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
So that needs to be added in there?
all right, so that one we just discussed was 47. Do you want to vote on it as we go, or you want to vote on it at the end?
That's up to the board.
Yeah, I'm asking.
At the end?
At the end.
If we're all
Yep,
good with them,
okay.
we're good,
Yep.
yeah.
All right,
Moving on to number 48.
48,
Yep.
okay.
All we want to do is simply just amend that, just to reflect the fact that rather than have the statement that signs erected on the building and on the lawn for proposed business, we just want to make it just simply that the planning board shall review and approve the proposed signs in accordance with town sign bylaw, period. I don't understand why there is a distinction between the sign and the lawn and the building signs, because there doesn't appear to be anything in the bylaws that distinguish the the bylaws have a certain requirement for sign size, shape, and light. So what we're saying is just whatever the requirements of the bylaws are, we're going to comply with those.
So the bylaw requires, or allows, let me say, allows the planning board to issue a sign permit. Okay? And as part of that, the board has the ability to look at what the sign is. You might recall the Dunkin' Donuts we had. They gave us a sign, they were reluctant about doing it because it was a new proprietary logo they had.
Right.
But yet they did it.
Yeah.
And that's something that we consider. And again, it's up to the board's discretion. If you want to see the contents of the sign, that's up to the board.
Yeah.
That's fine. It is consistent with the requirements of the sign bylaw.
Because I've also seen signs, if you know, on Route 16, I think of what it is.
Route 20?
No, 16. Their sign is so bright, I mean, I don't care where you're at, it's like a day glow sign. And those are things, that's why we had it in there, where we take a quick review at it. So we make sure the sun isn't being turned down when the sign's lit up.
Yeah.
That was the little things that we, in the bylaw, that's all it was for.
And I think also content. I think there's content, with any signs and businesses and stuff like that. So that we're not crossing any.
If I could, I don't want to interrupt anyone, it's kind of tough to see people talking around. All the requirement does is just takes out the additional statements with respect to the signs erected on the building and the lawn. You still have all those rights.
Okay, we still review,
Compliance of content, brightness.
All right.
It's all there.
Timing, all that kind of stuff is already in the bylaws. All we're doing is just simplifying the
Talking about building a lawn and just putting it all in one.
right. Yeah, just get rid of building a lawn and say, everything comes to you anyway.
Correct. Because we're gonna want, fair enough.
We are all set with that, you guys?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Brian, any comment?
No, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, I got,
That's pretty.
that's fine.
I'm going to skip 49.
Semantic.
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry?
is everyone all set?
Yep.
Yeah, we're okay with
Skip
that, yeah.
49 and move to 50. The 50, the only issue we had was the same thing we discussed before, and that was the surveyor shall stake out the site work. And the reason that we're looking for a modification, it seems to be a duplication of what will occur in the ordinary construction process. So what we're looking to do is just make it as simple and straightforward as possible. Massachusetts Registered Professional Land Surveyor shall prepare a certified as-built plan. And that as-built plan and submission has to be subject to approval. In terms of the, staking out the site work and building, that itself wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with the as-built plan necessarily, but if it did, if that was a requirement, it'd be a requirement of the actual construction process as opposed to the as-built plan. So all we're looking to do is narrow it to exactly what this item is supposed to be, and that's the submission of the as-built plan and who's going to submit it.
And I think when we talked about it, the building inspector's gonna require you to do the offsets and where the location of it is prior to anyways. So he's gonna want to see that as part of his inspection of looking at the footings and everything like that and where the site goes. So.
Right, because at that point, with the offsets, if the footings are in the wrong place, they're going to have to be moved. But at that point, before the building is up.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
That's standard construction. I disagree, but. Okay.
Bill?
No, my only comment is, when you have a site that's as tight as this is, where the building is on the building setback and one end and the other end, it's within very tight proximity of the border and vegetated wetland. It's standard practice to have the building corners staked by a professional land surveyor. It's standard. I don't understand what the objection is, but, certainly, once again, this is up to the board. It's not been my experience, but it's up to the board.
I know building inspectors usually ask for the offsets and everything's located, and even when they come out to look at the bottom of the hole before the footing's poured. So at that point, Mark's had quite a few, sites when I've been to, that he saw the stakes and everything's laid out for him there. That's before anything's poured.
How does he know that was done by a legit guy and Tom Jones there and go drive some steaks.
Because they
Because
have someone on.
that's what backs up the
Well,
as-built.
yes, they do. It's
Yeah.
a civil
Okay.
engineer that's out there staking and offsetting. It
Yeah.
isn't-
Yeah,
Yeah, can't be just done
You
by
can't just send
Joe
a
homeowner.
16-year-old out there to send some stakes. It's got to be surveyed. I mean, this is,
Because that has to line up with the as-built. That's why.
right.
And now that you get the building 12 feet shorter.
yeah.
Brian, any comment?
It's really up to the board. You know, it's a practical matter. It's the applicant that's going to bear the risk to a certain extent.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it doesn't line up if it's flowing. I have no comment on whether or not that's standard practice or not. I'm not an engineer. I have no idea how it's done in the field by the professionals, but, you know, if there is a discrepancy, you can have a building you can't use. So they imagine that they want to avoid that at all costs, so.
And every single client does. Every single client is very concerned about that.
So it sounds like it's
Project
a
managers.
practical consideration, and it's, considering the nature of the site, it sounds like it's going to get done one way or the other. So whether it's through an express condition or not, it seems like it's going to happen.
I'm good with it.
Well,
It's their risk. So,
it's up to the board, but I don't understand why you just can't do it. What reason? So, you can make it, when somebody makes a motion, we'll take a vote.
Okay.
All right.
Last but not least is 49. The reason I say this for the last is because there's so many materials that go along with 49 and the requirement. What we're seeking to do is to pretty much revise it to state a traffic management plan shall be developed by the applicant to ensure no vehicles will pull onto Davis Street subject to the review and approval by the Douglas Police Chief. And a copy of the plan shall be provided to the planning board. What was added on, at least at our estimation, that was rather inconsistent with both the Leonard engineering plan, and the report that was submitted by Brian Carney as a traffic analysis with regard to other cannabis businesses that were being operated in terms of the traffic, is that, and we've got the email from the police chief evidencing the fact that my clients cooperated with them throughout the process, is that the additional requirement that we sought a waiver from was somehow included in there. The meeting of this board that was held on August 13th appeared to, at least if you read it or watch it, it appears to have granted that particular waiver so that we were not required to do the engineering study, at least the exhaustive engineering study that now is in that particular number, 49. That also seems to be if you read the Leonard engineering report, after LEI comment and dated August 12th of 2020, LEI acknowledges that a waiver was requested from section 9.4.4.5 of the Douglas bylaw seeking relief from providing a full traffic impact analysis, a more detailed traffic management plan coordinated with the local police department during the early stages of the facility's open that avoids any traffic pulling on Route 16 should be submitted to the board, should consider adding a condition requiring a traffic management plan. But it wasn't an engineering study. And then what then subsequently occurred was there was a traffic analysis done, and that was by Brian Carney, and which also indicated that the traffic issue, and it was that traffic analysis was then coordinated with the police chief, who indicated in an email that the board is in possession of, that my client's been cooperating, and that if in fact there is a subsequent issue, and it leaves it open, there's an open-ended issue, so if it becomes a problem at some future date, my client would be required to come back in front of this board and this board to reevaluate the initial requirements in terms of traffic management, traffic studies that involve this particular property. So what we were looking for was the change of language just to eliminate the engineering requirement that's contained in there, as that was never discussed at the open meeting with the planning board. And my client's been working based upon what she understood this board was going to give, or was going to do with regard to traffic studies, which was work with the police chief, work with the analysis that was provided, and in terms of the design of the building and the like, and do it in that fashion. So that's why I say this one last, because there's a lot of materials. But this board's own minutes of August 13th seem to indicate that they were in favor of that, and then we got the requirement, and the engineering thing was somehow stuck back in there. That's the only issue we had. So what we were asking the board to do was just to modify it in the form that we've requested, and which is to read the way I have previously indicated to the board. So that's fundamentally what we're doing, or asking for at this point on 49.
Okay.
That's how I remember.
I remember too. You go with that?
We did.
My only concern was like the first 2 weeks of the grand opening and more attention coming because of the grand opening. Going forward, I thought it was fine as written. And
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, I mean, I drove by Caroline's this weekend and stuff like that, and there was, 20, 30 cars on a Saturday. I mean, I don't know, I mean, it's not like a big boom how it was, some of these places that are now opening. You know what I mean, where there's a
it's not the
flood.
first of the state.
Correct, it's not the first or the second in the state. You know, I mean, the one in Leicester was, when that opened up, it was quite a zoo.
Yeah, nobody knew.
You know what I mean?
And then what'll happen is that 20, 30 cars you see,
Yeah.
after this applicant's open, that'll be 15 to 20.
Yeah.
And they'll be 15.
They'll just move on. They're not gonna wait in a
I mean,
line.
there
if they
isn't
gotta-
just going to be all of a sudden all these new
Yeah.
people because there's another building. There's going to be some dilution.
Yes.
I think, but
Yep.
And I'm curious if there's anyone in the public that has an input on it, a neighboring resident or an abutter that has a concern. If it's a concern from an abutter.
Yeah, it is a public hearing, there might
Yeah.
be some people commenting.
Go
I mean,
ahead.
I know Jay said it was common practice to get an engineering survey done for traffic. I'm still in favor of doing that. It's up to the board to decide, but town council's comment if he has any on it?
Again, Brad Winter, no, I think my comment would be the same, it's really up to the board, it is common practice, depending on how significant traffic and study of traffic is to you. With all due respect to sort of the dialogue about what we thought, I felt it's what the board feels now. You want it, or you not want it.
Yeah, it's an open meeting now, so.
Yeah, it's on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember exactly what you're saying, Jake. You're really concerned about in the beginning. That was
Yeah.
a big deal.
And they addressed that concern with the off-site
Off-site.
parking,
Yep.
and shuttling, and police
Yep.
details.
Yeah, that was the plan, built around that. I mean,
All right.
I'm good with it.
Where is the language though, where if it becomes a problem, will it come back?
Well,
That's what,
come to us.
yeah, that's what's, that was discussed to be in the traffic management plan, should there
Is it?
be a, no, that's why they're developing it.
Well, I'm just saying,
And it's to be approved by the chief. So the chief's gonna understand that he's, if there's an overflow or flush or something like that, what's the plan? And that's the whole the idea of when you submit a plan, is you deal with those what ifs.
Right, in the plan.
I maintain what I said. I'm sure the chief and his officers will certainly handle any situation that comes along.
right.
I still see no reason why we shouldn't get a traffic study done. It's standard practice for situations like this to have an engineered traffic study done. It's a major road through Douglas, it's a busy road, lots of trucks.
The issue is, I mean, I know it's then and now, it's before us.
Correct.
But it's when they were developing all of this that we had given indication, and it's in the film, and whatever you want to call it, that we felt that the police chief would take care of it, and they would have a plan on how we do it, and we would not require the engineer. That's how we, I only can speak for myself, that's how I saw it. I got no dog in the fight here, I don't even know these folks, so.
Is the police chief on to see if he has an opinion on if he's okay with that language, with him being the sole review and approval person?
Actually, I have I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't know if the chief is on.
I don't see
him
unless he's one of these anonymous.
I have an email from him dated August 13th of 2020, so it's relatively recent. I met with Teresa and Zabanadzi and T, this morning, we discussed the traffic management plan in regards to their business on Davis Street. We all agreed that we would work together on a traffic management plan prior to and upon their opening to avoid any traffic concerns.
Yeah.
We specifically discussed vehicle calling on Davis Street as vehicles visit the location, and we all agreed that was something we would work on to prevent if that became a problem. They informed me that they have 50 parking spots on premises with an additional 20 that can be accessed at 118 Davis Street if needed. They also have a well-established plan in place for off-site parking and shuttling from another location in Uxbridge if necessary. At this time, I'm comfortable with what we discussed, and I'm confident we'll be able to work with them if there are additional traffic issues upon their opening. They have agreed to hire police details to assist with traffic as needed, and have expressed their willingness to work with the department if other issues arise. At this time, I have no concerns and will continue to work with them as things move forward. I will be remotely present, and that was for the August
that night.
13th meeting. So that was, and he said he'd be present, and I have that email here, in which he understands that my client is willing to work with the town. We don't get anywhere as a business by creating traffic issues and disrupting business in the downtown area with our business colleagues next to us on either side. We don't, and incurring the wrath of the citizens of the town of Douglas, which in turn will turn their wrath on you folks, which is something we don't want to happen, because we look forward to a long, prosperous relationship in the municipality. We're not looking to cause a problem, quite frankly. There's no money in it. There's more profitability if you run a nice, smooth operation and you have people coming in and out. That's why they're going to come here as opposed to going to Caroline's, as opposed to going some other facility in downtown Worcester where there's no parking, as opposed to going, off of 146 and having to deal with the Millbury Mall type properties. That's what the goal is. It's a business. We have a business motivation to ensure that the traffic and the parking and everything runs smoothly for the prospective clients, because as noted by one individual, this isn't the first. It's not one cannabis shop. They're springing up everywhere. We've got to be competitive. I remind you back, I might date myself, but back in the days of the video stores, and you got one, next thing you know, you had 3 in each town. They were all competitive. It's the same thing that's happening in the cannabis industry right now. Even though they're limited licenses, you still have to be competitive.
Any comments from the public on it, if they have a preference?
Is anybody online?
Yeah, we will. We'll do that for sure. Traffic management plan shall be developed by the applicant to ensure no vehicles will go on Davis Street. See, I mean, I would like it to say the traffic plan will be developed by a traffic engineer. That's my take on it. The board ultimately has the
Say that again?
deciding vote.
Couldn't hear you over here.
Repeat. Can you repeat that?
what you said.
I didn't hear it.
Your choice.
I said, I still am in favor of a traffic study by an engineer. The way it reads, I'll read it again. A traffic management plan shall be developed by the applicant. So that,
We should probably take these one by one, because if we can't agree on one of these, we're not going to be able to agree on any? Or is that-
No, I think,
we'll vote on them each.
Okay.
We're still discussing 49 right now, which is the traffic question.
yeah, I think that's a major one.
I understand that the applicant can develop a traffic plan, but a reputable engineering traffic study is what I looked for, and I don't see that happening in this waiver.
Well,
Can we start voting on any of these?
yeah,
Yeah, we've got no problem.
Let's just do it, knock them
okay.
out. We need to review them together as a.
Do we get any
We'll
input?
take them one-
Let's go with an easy one
We'll
first.
take them one at a time and vote on them, Aaron, but
If you want to do them one at a time, easy one first would be 48.
Did you want to consider input from the public?
We should,
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything?
Yeah.
do that
Yep.
right now. Okay, so
there anybody online?
anybody, this is a public hearing, is there anyone in the audience that has any comments or questions about this? All right, is there anyone online?
I don't see anybody raising their hands.
No?
No? I see no one.
You seeing anybody, Bill?
I'm not seeing anyone.
No?
Okay.
So what we're not gonna close the public hearing, right?
No.
No.
So what I'm gonna do is this, I'm gonna throw out there number 48. The change that they propose, I have no problems with whatsoever.
Want to make a, is it a motion on this, or are we in a vote?
Yeah, we're gonna vote
So we make a motion on,
each one.
Yep,
Yeah,
all right.
so motion for the change for item 48 to the proposed language. It concerns the, for the signage.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we approve that change.
second.
Who seconded it?
Aaron seconded it.
Okay, motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Aaron.
48.
Any
right.
further discussion?
Nope.
Roll call vote, please.
Les Stevens, aye on number 48.
Mike Greco, yes, approved.
Aye, Mike Zwicker.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Okay, motion passes.
We do-
Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, item 31,
Yep,
that was up on this,
correct. Yeah.
there was no problems with the change?
I think the modification of language, just that it shall meet the building code requirements,
That's correct.
and that's all.
That's the retaining wall?
Yes, number 31.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the retaining.
That's the
Correct.
that's the retaining wall.
Safety.
Shall meet the requirements of all state building code,
Of the building.
Building code, yep,
all requirements.
As applicable.
yep, as applicable.
I have no problems with that one,
Yep.
so I'm making a motion.
Okay.
I'm good for that change.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Change.
Jake?
All right, motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Jake.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Les Stevens, aye on number 31, modification?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye, good for the 31?
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay. Number 49?
On 47,
Yeah.
what's gonna go on? Are we gonna do a bond?
They're going to do
Sure,
a surety,
sure.
Surety?
Yep,
Yes.
so
With
Okay.
relief during,
Yeah,
the winter months.
That-
months or months.
I'd even be fine stretching it through, March
Yeah.
too. March.
Yeah, that's what or as weather permitting.
Yeah, as weather's
The
permitting.
dates,
Yeah.
or the months given
Correct.
as per the weather. I
Yeah.
mean,
And-
if it goes into the spring, we can't control.
And I think,
that good? That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's as per the weather.
We're gonna do the
I mean,
bond.
we've had snowstorms 30 inches on April 1st.
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I mean, we're easy to work with.
I would say,
Problem with the surety bond?
or,
That will be discussed with Bill,
We had it in there before.
right?
Town council drafts.
yeah. Mike, are you okay with just adding that, the work shall be completed within 1 year of the occupancy permit? You want to leave it open-ended?
No, it's not open-ended, it shall be, oh, you want to put a date line, a
Like-
dead end,
That end date. So,
June? Or, well, depends on the structure of the building, they might not be building it till January.
Correct. well, 1 year after the occupancy permit's been issued.
No, I don't want,
No,
You know that?
no.
that means they can stall for a
No.
year.
Okay, all
No,
right.
no.
I'm just trying to put
April
it,
1st.
We're not giving-
After April 1st, March, at the end of March, they can come back to us and say, okay, we're ready to go with it,
Okay.
or they can ask for more relief, but
Okay.
I'm not giving them
No.
a year.
okay. No, I was, depending on when they got done. I'm just trying to give it a
The way
time
it
frame.
is,
No.
and I'm assuming that work is going to resume in March, at the end of March.
Agree.
March or as
But
weather permits.
weather
In
permits.
front of us,
Okay.
and we know it's still snow on the ground.
Right.
Fair enough.
If it's still stormy, we'll give them relief, but
Okay.
if the weather's good,
Right.
get it done.
And who's gonna work on the number for the surety bond?
Tell me.
How do we wanna,
No, it's not a tremendous big
How were you
site.
gonna do it before when it was in the language? How would you figure that?
You calculate it.
Like I do any surety.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Then that's it. Then
that's it, done.
Bill's doing the surety.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not hard, it's loom.
That's how it's
Some
normally
seed.
done, that's how it'll be done this time. You do the surety, Bill.
Yeah,
Let's just be clear, 4 inches of topsoil
Yeah.
yes,
and.
not rocks.
seeding,
Yep.
yes,
In accordance with Mass DOT standard weighted average bid price.
That's
Right.
correct.
Like grass?
That's it.
Grass, okay.
Yes,
Good with that?
Grass.
yes.
Flowers.
Right,
All right.
Yep, all right, we're good with that one. You need a,
so that's gonna be for,
Number 47.
47?
Yep,
Everybody's-
47.
With the addition of the surety per the town engineer.
Correct.
So you made the motion.
Right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve 47 with the additional surety per the town engineer as written as in the proposed 47. So,
And we will allow the months,
yeah, yes. Just as it is, and if
Even
they
in
need to come
April.
back, they can do that.
I'll second that.
All right, motion made by Aaron, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? Vote, please.
Les Stevens, aye on number 47.
Yep.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye on 47.
Aaron Sokrat, aye on 47.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's aye. All right. Last one.
Oh, we got two. We got 49 and 50.
Yep, last one.
All right, so. With the change on the language on item 50, I mean, it's your own demise
No?
in reality.
Got no problem with it.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that on item 50, we'll accept it as they've had it written.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, just interject.
just,
It's not saying what they do with the certified as-built plan. I would suggest they have to submit it to the building department and or the planning board.
Both.
Yeah.
they have to give
yeah, I mean, it has to go on file, it has to be submitted in.
Well, it doesn't
It
say.
doesn't say it there.
Yeah.
With the addition that it is submitted to the building department
And the plan.
and the planning board.
Correct.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The as-built
Yep.
is.
Agree.
Is there any time requirement from the time they do this to the time we're supposed to get it? The as-built?
Usually it has built.
It should be prior to the issuance of an occupancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna be-
Should that be in there?
Should say that, it
No.
should say that, too.
Well, that's always standard because Mark or any building inspector has that as their requirement.
Give them an occupancy.
You can't give a Mark's permit without it.
Mark may not be there.
No.
Or-
Any building.
Some building inspector.
Any-
May vary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the checklist of getting an occupancy permit is that you have the as-built.
It's the papers.
The smart way is the surveyors come out as soon as the foundation's in to survey it before the post in the building goes up. You know what I mean? Because it's a pain trying to measure the corners
Right.
surveying wise if you don't, when you have walls up.
So do we need any language for that or not?
No, I think just be submitted to the planning board and building inspector.
Go with it?
If there's no further discussion.
Bill, what was your language on it?
So what they have, and then at the end put, shall be submitted to the planning board and building inspector prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit.
Correct. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep.
So I'll make them,
Yep.
I'll make the motion on number 50 to add the following language that, with the modifications of their language, just to add the extension that shall be submitted to the planning board and building inspector prior to the issue of occupancy permit.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Les, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? Vote, please.
Les Stevens, aye on the modification on number 50.
Mike?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye on number 50.
Aaron Sokrat, aye on number 50.
Jake Schultzberg, aye. 50.
Motion passes.
Okay.
All right. The last one.
So,
I'm not stepping on that one. I can go either way.
okay.
I'll step on it, why not?
There you go.
No, I agree with what the applicant said, that in the meeting prior, we were leaning towards that we were okay with how they were presenting it. And during that discussion previously, there was no argument from abutters. We have it open today, there's no argument from abutters. The chief, police chief seemed fine with the plan and the process. I was concerned with the first 2 weeks. I feel that it's okay
Yeah.
how it's presented. There's no one in the public that's fighting it to have an engineered traffic management plan. So
Okay.
I'm fine with how 49 is modified, and I'll make a motion to approve 49 as written in the modified version.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jake, seconded by Mike G. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye on 49.
Aaron Sokrat, I, 49.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's nay. Okay, all right.
And the adding of the signage, do we need to put that in? Or
think
that's just gonna be simple language for the snow dumping?
On the fence.
They agreed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they agreed to it, but do we need to put it in there?
Well, we're going to write the condition up, and they can look at it. We're not closing this
Correct.
public
Okay.
hearing.
Nope.
Yeah, go ahead, Town Council.
Brian Meyer, I mentioned that before you continue it to the next, human ambulance draft, Mr. Thunder, to prepare a final language and final
Yes.
decision with or without our assistance. So you'll have conditions and you'll have final language to
Okay.
look at before you vote on the actual rule.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can we, is there a way to, Bill, can we get them back on the docket in 2 weeks? We can write up.
Our next meeting is on the 19th.
Yeah. We're going to continue the public hearing.
Yeah, we got one meeting next month.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're just,
Yay.
I'm going
Yay,
to,
yes, I know. Huh?
so we're going to make a motion to continue. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We need a
Yep.
motion?
Yeah, I'll make
Yeah,
that,
we'll
Mike.
we'll need a motion, yeah. But that way, the conditions will be written up.
Yep.
We'll look at them as a board, the
Yep.
applicant can look at them, and we will make no votes until we're sure that we're all in agreement with what the conditions are.
Mr. Chair, if I may, can you tell me when they'd be written up so we'd be able to take a look at them?
Before tonight, yeah, so date-wise.
I'm not going to commit to a date because I seem to get penalized if I say a date.
Yeah.
So I'll get it out as soon as I can.
Forthwith.
Before the next meeting.
Yeah,
You'll get a copy, you'll get it before the next meeting, yeah.
correct. Forthwith.
Like more than 5 minutes before the next meeting?
Forthwith. Yeah. I mean,
So, if it's okay, I'd like to make a motion to continue the hearing.
Yeah.
Am I doing this right?
yeah, correct.
For November 19, 2020, at 7:30 PM here in the town hall.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Okay, motion's been made to continue.
Yep.
Seconded by Aaron, seconded by Mike.
Yep.
Z. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Yeah.
Ernie Mac's aye.
How long do you want on this?
It should be half hour.
If everything goes, we should know, half hour?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
And then we finish.
That's it.
we're finally all in agreement about everything, I hope. Thank you for coming in.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
wanted to tell you one thing though. When we talk about the beautification and the looming and the seating. In front of my liquor store right now, I have a cement pot about this big. It is filled with hostesses and roses and Sundance that everybody brags about.
Ah,
I
nice.
cannot wait to move that same pot
To
to
the
the
business.
center of the new building.
There you go.
All right.
You know what happens, I'll be down here to look at it.
When you want to talk about luminating seating, you can have a lot more than luminating seating.
I don't know how big the pot is, but, I mean, you go sightline distances.
All the customers go crazy over my flowers. I'm out there every day with them, taking care of my flowers.
Not too close to the curb.
No.
See, Teresa, what liquor store is it?
Capital.
Capital. And where's that?
Where is
It's
it?
on Cranston, on Cranston Street.
Told you how much I
811
drink.
Park Avenue.
Okay, Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't go there.
Oh, okay,
No.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
Jay,
I was curious,
every
but-
year I go
Yeah.
down
Obvious we don't drink enough.
see my-
Exactly. Or out of state.
All right, very good.
Okay, go
All
there.
right,
Look,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, good
All
night.
right.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeez, we were going to be quick tonight.
All right. Let's
Good.
move on.
Yep.
Once again.
7:30. Yep, thank you,
Night.
thank you. 7:45?
Did Ryan leave already?
I think he went out with the folks, I think.
Okay, 7:45.
Which one?
Mr. Chairman, for 7:45,
Oh,
I
really?
recuse myself.
Okay.
So I'm in the butter.
I lost me.
Agenda? You got it, Ernie?
Yeah, let's do it. 7:45.
planned that for a half hour for this meeting.
It's just the way the agenda fills in. I'll give Bill. It happens. Things,
Things are kind of in flux with my assistant retiring, you know, so.
Yeah,
Is she officially retired?
swamped.
Who's this? Who's this?
Is it filled yet or no?
no,
Well, she's
part-time.
part-time,
Okay.
so.
She retired.
How about Maria?
Retired full-time.
Yes, we're all set.
Okay, we're good.
You wish.
She's retired but working.
Assisting, still assisting.
Yeah, we're done, we're going on.
Okay.
Yeah, the A and R we voted on, okay. Bill, what's next?
We have BWC Whitens Reservoir
Yep, okay.
preliminary subdivision meeting. That's a public meeting, so you don't have to open anything.
Right,
But,
yep.
They did request a continuation to the next meeting.
Good deal.
So we have an 8 o'clock.
Yep. All right.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
I'll make them, do you need a motion to continue? Okay, we're good. Sweet.
No,
So what's the next one?
just put them on to the next meeting.
Let's go Coopertown.
They're kind of in, just so you know, they're kind of in a holding pattern until we get the AG decision on our
Right.
Yep.
solar bylaw.
100%,
And
yeah.
the AG hasn't, we didn't get anything this
We
week, huh?
haven't
Nope.
done it yet.
No, okay.
It's just expected.
Okay,
All
so we
right.
got the 8 o'clock now.
Okay.
I'm back,
Long trip, long.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I recused myself.
Oh, all right, Mike recused himself and he's right back.
He virtualized himself.
Okay, next bill.
May I ask a question of the chairman?
I'm sorry, who's on?
Yep.
What?
Who's this?
Could be Laura. It's Laura.
For the last
Just a
one.
quick question.
Okay, who is this, please?
It's Lori Howe, 41 Oak Street. Really simple question. I noticed Douglas Renewables was on there referencing 45 Oak Street. Is that actually for 45 Oak Street? It was in the minutes from last time, and I think it's listed in your additional business for this meeting.
Signed.
Yeah,
I wasn't
that,
sure if that was a typo.
that is a typo. That should say BWC.
Yeah.
And they are still reviewing the decision, so we're not signing anything tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yep,
That's all?
that's it.
All right, thank you.
That's good.
Okay.
Glad she asked now versus the end of the meeting.
Additional business is off.
Yeah.
Cooperstown Road, there we go. That's,
All right, Bill?
This is a continued public hearing, Cooperstown.
Yep.
Yeah. And we asked that we would hear
It's
from,
open.
yeah, okay. Yeah, oh, yeah, the public hearing is now open for Cooperstown Realty Trust, yes, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if anyone is online for this.
Your green lights just changed, so I don't know. They jumped up.
Okay. So I did get some communication back and forth from them, and I'm surprised no one's online tonight. I was under the impression someone was going to be online tonight to address this. The conversation ranged from me being told that they were going to withdraw the application and then refile, up until most recently, earlier today, I was told that they were going to come in, ask for a continuation, and start moving forward on the project. So I was surprised no one's here
Yeah.
for this.
So there's nobody here,
That's it?
I think this is,
and there's nobody online for it?
Bill?
Oh, we do have some.
Bill, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes?
Oh, it's Meg.
Hi, Meg.
Oh, hi, Meg. Yep, okay.
So I'm on the phone. Is Jude there?
No.
no,
No, Jude is not.
Wonderful. Okay, so Jude was supposed to be there this evening to discuss this with you. We have had a meeting with Andrews and are in the process of finalizing the plans to move forward. We had some issues coming to an agreement on how to move forward, but we have moved past those. And we are now in the process of finalizing the plan. I believe he's meeting with you on Monday.
Correct.
Yes.
all right.
I don't know if you have anything further to add to that, Bill, based on your conversation with him.
No, so you may recall I had some comments I had prepared months ago when this first came in, and there's been no progress since that. I'm supposed to sit down with Jude on Monday and go through the comments so that we're on the same page.
This Monday
This
coming?
coming Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
But we certainly appreciate the board's patience with this and with us. Again, this is not something we do every day, and again, with some issues between between us and Andrews, but we can have worked through those, so we appreciate that the board has had communications with us.
Okay, Meg, thank you.
So my question would be, how long of a continuation would they need?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask
And I
that.
do know there's a number of abutters here too, so.
Yeah. We only have one meeting next month, Meg. Do you think you'll have stuff ready by then, or do you want to wait till the following month?
Based on the preliminary conversation that I had with Jude, he indicated that he was willing to not commit to a couple of weeks, but needed more like 4 weeks.
Okay, so December.
So December meeting, okay then?
That sounds reasonable. I know that there was an abutter that came to the last meeting. Is that information available in the minutes yet?
Yeah, the minutes should be in the agenda that I had emailed out, Meg, so you should have a copy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take a look at those. I wasn't aware of who that was, so I definitely want to make sure that I'm addressing that.
All right, Bill, comments?
No, so the next meeting would be December 10th, but I do see some of the abutters, so I
Yeah.
don't know if they have comments.
All right. All right, you want to go for December 10th?
The thing is, that we're gonna mandate that there's something on the table?
Yeah.
Or what are we gonna
Yeah.
do here?
100%.
Or withdraw.
Or withdraw.
We will mandate, we're gonna, we need
Yeah.
to have something here to see on the table on the 10th, or it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Meg, are you hearing us on that condition?
I'm sorry, I can't, you're breaking up.
I have a mic, so what the board is asking for is that on the December 10th meeting, that the plan is presented going forward, or withdraw the application and the request. I think we've chewed up quite a few time slots and our agenda time holding and waiting in pattern. I think we've had at least four meetings in Bill's time in this project. At least 4 meetings with no activity, so.
Or they could withdraw and then reapply.
Yep. So December 10th, prior to there, to either have the plan updated and present with the comments that Bill's put forth back in the summer timeframe, or withdraw and you can reapply.
That's correct.
Okay, so we're clear.
Then if nobody's here for the withdrawal, what action will we take?
We're gonna make a motion.
We'll make a
We'll make a
motion.
motion on it, so
Close them.
something has to happen on the
No
10th,
decision.
Yeah.
period.
So we do have an extension on the decision timeline to the end of December. So I'll probably be looking for another extension by the time we get to that meeting date, Meg.
Okay, so just so I understand, if we aren't ready, we'll need to withdraw and reapply?
That's correct.
Or the board may
Okay.
vote.
We may vote to close the public hearing with no decision.
Right. And you can request to,
So,
You would have a decision.
Decision, yeah.
and you can request to have the fees waived, though, if you do withdraw?
And is it withdrawn without prejudice? Is that how it goes?
Well, Bill's already spent.
Yeah, I don't know about,
Oh.
the
yeah.
Administrative fees
Okay.
associated.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's
There can
deal
be a
with that
request.
when they come back.
Right.
in
Yeah.
December.
yeah,
no,
exactly.
Meg, just,
It's not good.
so we don't have to take this action, and are you confident that December's a good date, or would you rather extend a little bit longer, the public hearing till January meeting?
We can't.
So that you can be sure that you have something concrete to come in with?
I would say, you know, with all due respect, Meg,
Yep.
I would say let's keep them on the December only because I need a written extension otherwise, and we currently don't have
Right.
that.
Yes.
All right.
So-
Yep.
All right, yeah, so Meg, yeah, all right, December it'll be, and we will need extension in December from you anyway, so,
Yeah, that meeting.
Yep,
Okay.
it's fair.
all right? So if you can, come in with something
I
on this.
apologize that the person that was supposed to answer these questions isn't here, so I'm guessing on timelines, I'm guessing December will be fine.
Yep.
Okay,
But Bill, perhaps you can
We'll see when
discuss
we
it
get
with Jude
Yeah, no, I
on
think-
Monday when you speak with him.
We should get a clear indication on Monday what the path is.
right.
Yep.
And get,
Okay.
can you get an extension on Monday, too, Bill, do you think, or do you have to wait till the meeting?
Let's not cross that bridge.
All right, okay.
We'll worry
all
about
right.
that in December.
That's the public
All right,
Yeah.
but just to make sure, we have to, if we don't have an extension at that December meeting,
Yeah.
then we're going to have to do something because we can't let it
Right.
Yeah.
go
That's
past
what we
that.
want. We were gonna make
Yeah.
one way or
Correct.
another.
So a decision we made, if we don't get the extension, then we will close the public hearing without finding. So,
No, we would vote,
We would
yeah,
vote. We're going to vote.
We would vote to close the public hearing,
Yeah.
yeah.
not just close the public.
Correct.
But vote,
Vote on the application.
Correct.
exactly.
Exactly. I don't.
That's what I'm trying to say. We will make the decision.
Correct.
All right, Meg, we'll go
People
till
online.
the December meeting.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, all right, there are people online. Is anybody here that was you just heard what we're doing? Do you have any comments or questions?
Mr. Chairman, if I could,
Yeah, name and address, please.
John Bernard of 734 Northwest Main.
Okay,
I spoke up at the last meeting, and again, I want to express my frustration with the process.
Right.
My understanding was that at the last meeting, it was expected that the applicant would make progress to this meeting. And it appears that little to no progress has been made. So, again, I express my frustration that this process is taking as long as it is. It's clear to me that there are a number of abutters who have concerns with this project. And the application and the process is eating at the bureaucracy and not creating a forum, not setting up people, giving people a forum in order to express their concerns. Because it's taken multiple nights now to carve out an hour of our time, and so, some folks can make it and some folks can't. And, the applicant noted the patience of the board, and I would also say that there's been the patience of the abutters as well through this process.
Well noted.
So,
All right.
Thank you for your time this evening.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
December 10th.
Is anybody else online?
He's got a person on this audience.
Hi, John.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you back there, I'm sorry. Yeah, name and address, please?
John Hughes, 738 Northwest Main Street.
Okay, yeah.
In a butter.
Yeah.
So I did not speak up at the last meeting. Actually, I wasn't able to attend the last meeting. I travel for a living.
Okay.
So I have been rearranging my travel schedule to keep in touch with these meetings. Wasn't able to do it, but tonight I was. But with the constant continuances, it's getting harder for me to do that. So I echo John's comments where we really would like to get more of a concrete resolution on this. And it sounds like that's what the board is looking to do.
Correct.
And I think that sounds like a good resolution. I would just ask the question, if you were voting on the December 10th date, and there is no resolution, and the board chooses to, I guess, refuse the permit, is there a period of time they would have to wait to refile?
It's the withdrawing. Would be-
They could refile forthwith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this whole process could start over basically
Right,
immediately?
right. It's a good thing we have Zoom these days.
But hopefully they come back a little bit more prepared with something when
Yeah.
they do that.
I mean, I sort of feel like we're playing defense here.
We are.
The good thing with the COVID, the only good thing is that anywhere in the world, you could just be traveling.
And you know what,
could go on
truthfully,
Zoom.
I didn't even think about zooming in.
Yeah, zoom it in, it's easy. Zoom, zoom. So-
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Especially when it's
But I work in hospitals sort of around the clock.
Yep.
So,
Oh, okay.
a lot of times right now would be on duty.
Yep. Fair enough.
So it is a little tricky, so
Yeah.
that's all I'm going to say, but thank you, I appreciate your time.
So December 10th.
All right, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. You got December 10th.
All right, anybody else? Nobody, Bill?
Not that I'm seeing.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
I know the McCallums are butters, but their mics are muted. I don't know if I can unmute it.
You can't. They can do it themselves.
okay, motion
Right.
to continue?
I'll make a motion to continue Coopertown Realty Trust to the December 10th meeting at 7 o'clock.
Second that.
Motion made by Les, seconded by Tracy. All right, any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye.
Aaron Sokrat, aye.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Ernie Mac's aye. All right.
How long do you want?
30.
15 minutes so they can come in with something, because it's going to be continued anyway. We were just going to be looking at something brand new anyway, so.
Right, and if they don't come in, we're going to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're either going to give us an extension or we're going
Right.
to move in another direction.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
stay
you.
safe.
Thanks for doing your job, too, appreciate it.
All right,
Okay, what we got left?
we did the A&R.
Yep.
Residential confidence?
Residential contract,
Yeah.
What's up with Whitens Res?
What's the,
Want to take Whitens Res?
Yeah.
Yep, let's do Whitens Res,
Anybody
yep.
from Whitens Res is online.
Yep.
What's the
Let's do
status?
White and Res.
Just to give you an update, I know they've been working with the Selectmen and the Conservation Commission on getting the deed land deeded. I'm not sure that that's finalized yet, but it's pretty close. The affordable housing, I believe, is all set. They received their approval.
Yep.
I'm waiting for the surety to be submitted, the additional surety
Yeah.
that was deficient. So that's really the only thing. So I would ask that the board, I think we did this already once, but just to be sure,
Yeah.
authorize Ernie to sign both the release, because I believe that's getting revised,
Okay,
and any surety agreement.
okay.
Clarify release, so you're talking about the lot release? I just want to clarify that. What release?
The
Because,
lot release is not gonna happen until we have everything deeded over, we said, in the whole 9 yards.
and those things were in pipeline, those things were in the work.
That way there, if it happens in between the next meeting, you can come in and sign off.
Yeah.
You need a formal motion, or just so,
Yeah,
I'll give a motion for Ernie allowed to sign for Whitens Reservoir lot release upon the correct approval
And
sure.
and surety.
Yep.
Second.
All right, motion made by Mike Z, seconded by
Jake?
Jake. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tracy Sharkey, aye.
Les Stevens, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mike Zwicker, aye?
Aaron Sokrat.
Jake Schultzberg, aye.
Bill, can we get an updated construction schedule from them?
Yeah.
Can we,
They did submit one if you go to the website.
Okay, I just-
They post it.
okay, I just wasn't sure if they're,
They've slowed down. They
yeah.
picked up.
yeah,
They were doing great.
Yeah.
I did speak with Jude today about that.
okay.
And asked him what's going on.
Yeah, I get the weathers in there and stuff like that, just as long as the communication lines
I
are,
don't want, I mean, it's supposed to snow Friday, so I don't want it to get in a situation where they're halfway finished with like the granite curb. or-
well, that and the sidewalks, what the plan for that is, if they're doing the sidewalks. I mean, I'd like to get an idea when, on some of that stuff, because it's all open,
Yep,
so, okay. And the catch basins for the drainage
yep.
being finished prior to the winter hitting.
So there's one of the catch basins on one of the lots that's already been released that falls in the middle of the driveway.
Yeah,
And, you know,
I know,
try to avoid that to the extent possible, but sometimes you can't avoid it.
yeah,
So, you know, that's not going to function as originally designed, and it could be problematic if we try to divert the stormwater into the catch basin. It could be problematic for people living there. So
yeah.
it's just things that, you know, we need to try to be aware of when we're approving these things and taking a look at them.
The problem is when we look at them, we don't know where the driveway's gonna be.
Right, they show a
Correct.
driveway, but often it's not.
It's not where they put it.
Correct.
So the deal is either we're gonna be extremely strict, or language is written, at no point shall ever a catch basin be placed at the foot of a
You get
driveway.
a driveway permit.
Yeah,
Huh?
You get a driveway permit. Every
Well,
house has a driveway permit. John goes and looks at it.
So how did they okay it with the catch basin separate?
We've got lots of places that have catch basins and driveways.
in front of them,
He thought it was okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's not okay, even
No.
the contractor agrees it's not okay.
Yeah.
So we're
That's
trying
what-
to-
it's not a common
When we can
practice,
prevent it in a new
Yeah.
development, we should prevent it.
yeah.
No, you should try to
I
prevent
mean,
it.
it's one of those
Sometimes-
deals where
Sometimes you
it's
can't.
us using our common sense here,
Yeah.
it's something where it's all brand new. You can move things around and make
We
it.
won't be able to catch it.
And, you know,
We won't be able to catch it.
yeah,
Even if they draw it in a spot.
There could be a
it's on the other
condition.
side.
We could have them submit a detail if this condition occurs, this
Yeah.
is how they're gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's more infuriating for me,
we-
Yeah,
seeing something that should have been planned for that's not.
Not,
And
I agree.
yeah, and I think,
Was the driveway shown where the catch basin is? Or did they move the driveway? Or did they move the catch basin?
I don't think the original plan, yeah, I don't think the original plans come before us show actually
Those old
house
original
layouts.
plans are cartoons, they're cartoons.
Yeah.
The cartoons, yeah.
You can't hold
Yeah.
them to that.
It's got a box on it and not really where the driveway's gonna be. But, I mean, I think, and I know the driveway Bill's talking about, you know, that it's taken up the second lane of the driveway. It could have been a one lane and opened up to catch the 2 lanes.
Right.
So it's,
That's what I'm getting at.
yeah, I guess future going forward, I think it's a way to make improvements.
We can write something up there.
Yeah,
It should be
I
like,
mean, it's something that they should at least think about.
yeah,
We do have language in there regarding drainage, that's kind of catch-all language.
not specific enough.
It's just a tough situation.
yeah.
I can think about it.
So I think,
I mean, personally, I think it's not right. I know what you're saying, but when we have the opportunity, we're planning something out and you can prevent that, it should be prevented.
I agree.
And that's all I'm getting at.
Yep.
What's done is done down the road.
Yeah.
But I'm saying going forward, it should not happen, period. It's like planting trees. You're not going to do it, right?
Right.
Well, this is going to be on that same category as you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And have something in there to
Yeah,
prevent it.
I have no problem with it. I'm just saying, there are lots of them around town.
Yes, I agree.
Catch basins are in people's
Yeah.
driveways.
so Bill, in your conversations with the applicant regarding their lot release, can you ensure that there's going to be someone plowing that road? Private contractor? Plowing that road? Private contracting for plowing? Because now you have houses up there and people up there. Yeah, or just,
It's in the decision that it's a requirement.
Correct.
The
I know.
avenue that the board has is to withhold lot releases.
I know.
Currently, that
I know. I just want to make sure that they're, I mean, because,
push comes to shove, I know highway would go out there to those few people that are living out there if they need to.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have to.
correct. I agree.
Exactly.
We
I just want to
were,
make sure they got someone lined up. I don't want to leave someone in the
Let's
cold.
ensure that no other driveways land where the catch basins are either.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been talk before.
That'd be John Furno's, right?
Yeah, that's John's
So,
job.
well, if we can try to bring it to the developer's attention.
Yeah.
We did, we had a whole conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and
The developer, the contractor, the engineer, and me.
Afterwards? After it was done? After, yeah. So moving forward, not to do that.
can a request be sent to John
I mean,
Yeah,
for in the future?
We can inform John of this discussion, for sure. Yeah.
For in the future moving forward, if possible?
Yeah.
Please.
I'll say this, if it's in somebody's driveway, it's more likely to get reported that there's a problem with the catch basin
Yeah.
or one that's on the side of the road somewhere.
Correct. Sinking or
It's repaired
lower.
quicker if there is a
Yeah.
We're
problem.
actually considering putting in the granite header on it.
Yeah. No, yeah, right. No, you can't do that. But it's not a good place for all my agreement, it happens.
Right.
But
Yeah, well,
I've never saw it as a serious
Yeah.
problem, but I see it all the time, so I can
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from.
owners, they say, I want my driveway on this side, and then they don't look in the
Yeah.
street, they just
Yeah.
want that driveway on
That's where they
wherever
want it. That's where they want it. You don't have-
that's
It's
the
gonna be
problem.
the catch basins there. I don't care. That's where I want my
Yeah.
driveway, so.
Yeah, I'm just,
privacy from the other person or whatever.
yeah, I'm just curious how much more work they're going to do there to,
All right,
for
that's
winter
enough of
hits.
that. Moving on.
That's it.
So anything else on that one, Bill? Nope. Nope, okay. All right. We got these to sign and a Mylar to sign. And meeting minutes to do.
And the residential compound, we doing it?
Well, be honest with you, it's after 9.
Okay, no.
I don't see residential compounds as being a very pressing area.
No.
I just assume,
Yep. I'm
To review it?
Wait, I'm gonna read it.
We'll read it over the weekend. Weekend reading.
yeah, weekend reading.
I also did Mullen, so I'm gonna record that for that October 15th.
Okay.
Specifically for, those other ones, the
Okay.
hearing-
Cool.
hearings that were there.
We're good?
I mean, I didn't really miss much, but Pine was one of them, and then, BWC was there with us
Yep.
meeting.
Yeah, okay.
And
Okay.
Cooperstown.
Yep.
Okay.
Just let you know.
All right, very good. All right, Bill, anything other than what's on the agenda?
Cosma is starting to construct his road.
Okay.
I'm going to be using, with board's authorization, JTC to do the gravel testing,
Okay,
acid testing.
all right, okay.
What project's that?
You need a,
Bella Woods, South Maple Street, it's a residential compound.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Do you need a formal vote for that, to use them?
I don't even have the proposal proposal, but we already have an agreement with them through the planning board.
Oh, yeah,
so I'm
that's-
just kind of letting the board
Okay,
know.
okay, that's right, I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else on the board have anything that you want to bring up? All right,
Yes, I do.
we'll sign these plans.
Oh, Mike
Mike
doesn't.
has
Wait, wait,
minutes.
I do.
Oh, Mike,
Go
yep.
right ahead.
This thing about the minutes is wrong. The date's wrong, October 15th. These just, October 15th, we just got tonight, so nobody's seen them.
Yeah.
So if there was a set before that,
Yeah,
We did that already.
no, we didn't. Never
It's referenced in October 15th that we did them.
did what?
It's on the back.
September?
I think I checked it.
Yeah,
October 23rd.
yeah. We,
Right, the October 15th.
yeah, we did on October.
9, September 23rd. Does it say in there that we did those? Because,
Yes, the minutes right here,
The back of this minute.
Correct.
The newest minute.
that we voted them on. Also votes that we voted in.
We voted on one, but we didn't vote on the other.
that's not the same date.
Yeah, the 23rd. No,
Why are there two dates there?
because that was the minutes that were on the thing. We haven't vote.
This, I'll check.
Yeah. We haven't approved the September 23rd minutes. That's all.
We'll do it next meeting.
Yep.
We could do it now.
But no, it's okay. Okay.
We did-
Ernie wants to get out of here.
no, if you want to do
Yeah,
minutes,
we
that's
didn't do the
fine.
13th.
But we didn't do the 23rd
Yeah.
of September.
Excuse me, we didn't do the 23rd.
Correct.
Yeah,
We're out of here.
Okay.
you want to do them, Mike?
I'm just gonna grab the stamps. I'll pass
You
the
all set?
stamps out.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I saw in it, there was a typo.
Yeah.
It's no big deal, but we can get them off a chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Yeah, it says
13.
we're voting on number.
Page 2,
Page 2.
the 13th line from the bottom
That's me.
starts off with the word asks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ask if they aware. There should be an R in there or something. Ask if they are aware.
That's the signature.
Ask,
Yeah.
aware, yeah, okay, yeah, should be an R in there, yeah.
that's it.
You want to sign it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good job, Ashley.
Okay,
If everybody's okay, I'll make a motion
please do.
Yeah,
that we approve the meeting minutes as amended for September 23rd, 2020.
I'll second that.
motion made by Mike G, seconded by Mike Z. All those in favor?
Aye. We got aye. Do we have to do the roll call
Not do
thing?
roll call, aye. Opposed, no opposition?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Abstain.
All right, and-
Abstain.
Oh, one abstention,
I
oh,
was
I'm sorry, one
absent.
abstention from Tracy because she was absent, yeah, okay.
So now you got the 15th.
All right, anything else?
No, October 15th
You
here.
got the 15th?
No, we just got those tonight.
Okay.
So I
Give me
haven't-
time to read it.
So that one and that one are good.
It's wet stamp. It's wet stamp.
There's another paper one.
Yeah, I know. I did that one too.
That's the Mylar?
Is there anything else?
You need a special pen? No, I don't think so.
COVID.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Tracy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
abstained?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? It's unanimous. Return. All set, thank you.